All right, people, this is our new auction purchase. We went with the oldest car we bought yet. 1976. Oh, listen to that. I don't know if it sounds good, but it sounds started, and that's all that matters. What? Don't stop, stop, stop. Do I need to stand back to keep you from bumping this car? It smells like oil. We're going to have to come back with the tow truck. You can't tell what gear it's in?
No.
I sacrificed my leg for this Camry back here.
I'm moving this thing.
So we're going to move the Camry so we don't destroy it. All right, let's see what this thing looks like on the inside. All right, let's see. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Need some carpet work, but man, there's more space than I thought. Well, let me zoom. All right, here we go. So he doesn't know where the gears are. Let's see what we can figure out.
Look, it runs.
It rolls backwards quite nicely. You should get real close to the edge of that lip over there.
Steering works.
You're not really off of a hill as much as on a longer hill.
Yeah, but there's nothing behind me now.
That's true.
All right. You think it should be, but see, that didn't feel like a gear. That might be first.
You think back is first?
Yeah, that's back.
I think it drives. We've decided as expert car people, carburetor needs adjustment. That's a nice little scrape there. Is this how fast we're going?
6 o'clock. Ooh, the brakes are squishy.
But do you stop? All right, I'll ride behind you. Half a tank of gas.
Maybe. Let's go put gas in.
Maybe it has some oil.
Bring your car up here.
Well, I am up here. I'm like just a little bit further.
Well, I don't want to be on that hill.
What, you're gonna have to go that way to go straight anyway.
That's when I'm going.
Oh, so what am I doing?
Go here. You want me to go get your car?
No.
I want to check the oil and stuff.
I can't get out. Holy shit, I really can't.
Hold it.
Okay.
Break it. Is the door?
Thanks.
But I just rolled the window down.
Just shimmied out of it. Does that really not work? All right, door handle doesn't work.
Somebody put new tires on it too.
The tires look beautiful. I like this little rack. We need a little like a leather bag we can strap back there. All right, let's see if that manual's still in the trunk.
No.
Look at that. It's like a fidget toy. Let's see if it has an engine.
Look at this. It's like the old Corvette. So you don't have to worry about hood struts.
What is this gold thing? That's pretty.
That's
like a little
solenoid for something.
like a little 4-cylinder engine. We can change those spark plugs like
easy. This thing's cool, man.
I'm glad we know what we're doing.
Keep it for a little while.
You got to get rid of it before it falls apart.
Dude, this thing is not gonna fall apart. Dude, this thing's cool. That's what they were talking about, the bent rim.
Dun dun dun.
So this is a Weber carburetor here. I heard there's a retired surgeon out in Tobaccoville that rebuilds carburetors. Yeah.
Weevil.
Is it Weevil or Weaver?
I just said the word that sounded more like a bug.
Well, this isn't a bug, it's an MG.
This is one of the smallest cars we've ever seen yet. It needs 3 windshield wipers. I guess it's because it's so short. You know, one long one's not gonna do much, so a bunch of little ones do better. All right, guys, we're here with our MG today. We're gonna start digging into it. And the first thing we wanted to figure out was, and some of the photos on the listings we found online, there was some good stuff in the trunk, like some Haynes manuals and things. We wanna see if we can get this open. I was reading a little bit about it, and it sounds like if they spin and the button pushes, you just have to fiddle around a little bit. Oh, there it goes. And it'll open. Jack stands. Doesn't feel like a jack stand. These look like parts. An oil filter. Paperwork. Oh yeah, that's what was in the picture. Boom. That's good. Official guide. Stick. A window. Oh, that's the little front window. This one looks fine though. I wonder if they replaced it. Ooh, this thing's had a bunch of work done to it. That's either good or it means they take a bunch of work. And then a tire just sitting in the middle of the trunk. There's not much to see in here. I would like to get, how do you think to get this thing up? I think I figured this wheel out. I think you just got to untwist it. I got it twisting with that. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why there's a block in it. Oh. Uh-oh, I don't like the look of that. Is that a mouse house? Maybe? Huh. All right, look at this. This is the latch that grabs this. Just spins around and knocks it loose. So I bet if I take this off, clean it up and lube it and tighten everything, it'll work a lot better. I'm just gonna take these 4 screws out. Ugh, it's pretty gross. I think I'm just gonna clean it and then spray some of this silicone stuff on it. And for this, I think they just didn't get it tight enough. This is the dirty part. I need one of those ultrasonic cleaners. I'm gonna go dry this off and then put the grease on it. I made a realization that now seems dumb in retrospect. This is not supposed to spin. That's just supposed to face down. The key pushes down and spins that part. So yes, I'm gonna put a gasket, seal this as tight as I can, and then it should be fine. I just have this neoprene, which I would do, should be about the same size as that circle. I need one of those little hole punches. No, I don't, because I just did that perfect. Ta-da! Based on the look of that, I think it goes down. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. So aim it down. Okay, that feels pretty tight. So now if the key doesn't work, I can't get it open. So I would have made it worse. Oh shit, I did. Last we left you, I did indeed screw up the lock, but look. Oh. Closed, open. I've officially figured out how the thing works too. You just have to push it to unlatch it. The turning is not what unlatches it, the turning is what locks it. Let me show you what happened. So what I had done is I put a gasket there. That gasket made it too thick. So when you would push down on this, it didn't unlatch the thing that latches to right there. Then I had to look online to figure out how to open these. And we tried a couple different things. The first thing, I took these lights off. When you take that light off, it allows you to get something in here with the idea that you could reach around and push that latch. So this is the first thing I made. Push that latch and try to undo it. That wasn't working. So my next idea was to get it on top of the little thing that the button pushes, to like kind of wedge it in between there. So when you push the button down, it pushed down further to unlatch it. That didn't work. So I gave up on this. So then we come to contraption 2. Contraption 2 consisted of 2 parts. Put this little piece of metal in. Once it was in there far enough, then I put this in here. And you'll notice that comes right to there. I then was able to fish in through here and get this end out here. So the whole idea was a two-handed approach to try to get leverage to unpop that latch. I did that for probably 5-6 minutes before I then just drilled a hole. The way I drilled the hole, you'll notice I had to take the seat out. So taking out the seat gave me some room to actually get in here. There was also carpet and foam. I took the carpet and foam off of there. I was able to stick that through there. All this was now inside of here because that's all useless. So that coming through there, I was going to originally try to push this and pop the latch back so it would come up. That really didn't work. What I had to do, all right, so you see the latch mechanism? That actually, I was able to put it on top of there, and then when the button pushed down, it engaged, so it created that space, gave the thickness I had screwed up by putting in the gasket. And once that was wedged in there, it popped and it opened. Now I have a hole in my trunk, but that's okay. I'm gonna cover that and label that future emergency trunk latch. Once I popped that in there, got it off, I took this piece off and I did a much thinner gasket material. It's about half the size of the other one. And if you look down on it, it's kind of curved in a little bit. I beat that with a hammer and beat it in a little bit. So that way when you push this button, it has less to move to latch. And now it closes and opens. We have now successfully finished the project of making that latch work. And it only took 15 more steps than I was originally intended. I'm gonna clean up those little rough spots and I'll probably just respray the inside. All right, I'm gonna try just some of this. I just use this to cover up all the bare metal and any rust spots. Now we'll let that dry and decide what the final is gonna be, but we won't do that till we're finishing the floor pan on the inside too. Help the vinyl fold. After taking out this seat and seeing some of this rust underneath here, I decided it would be best to try to take all the carpet out and just check what the floorboard looks like. Also, you know, I was looking at this and I was wondering if we could simplify it. First of all, this cup holder, you would think it'd be useful to have it, but it is the opposite of useful because when you shift into a gear, which apparently I can do without the clutch. Is that normal? You basically just punch your drink and it spills everywhere. So there's no reason to have a cup holder, but it's just a plastic piece that comes up. That can go. I want to get this carpet out. So let's take this off and see what it looks like underneath there. This just screws off and actually it's kind of loose. So I might see about making a new knob. I know an expert wood turner who could wood turn us a new knob. And then it looks like there's just 4 screws. This might be the only thing holding this down. Yeah. I can just wedge it. Okay. So this is just carpet. So I can, why? You don't even need that. That even covers over. Good. Well, success on that part. What else do I need to get out? This is just a few Phillips bolts too. This thing apparently is held together by wood screws. Huh. I wonder how you get these. Sometimes these knobs just pop off. Still doesn't really help me undo it. Huh. Ta-da! Now I can leather condition that and make it super pretty. Let's see if I can see behind that. I just want to get all this loose. Here, I'm going to do a slow pan, so if I do get this off, I can see where stuff goes. Stuff just kind of started falling apart. A lot of these are lights. This black part, that went to the cigarette lighter. Purple thing plugged into the back of the cigarette lighter. To get this off, this cable right here is what you pull to change stuff, and it just, there's a little clip brace that holds it right there, which fell off, and then they just pull it right there, and it wants to be loosest on hot, I think. Yeah. So now I'm trying to get that off of there, and I was trying to work on these nuts right there. That's too hard to get to. I'm gonna take the cable out of that. I may have just caused myself a whole bunch of future work. I should have just ignored this. That might have been a huge mistake. Probably not. Just 4 lights, the wires for the plug, and maybe I can get rid of that and put in like a power outlet or something. So I'll just have to get those wires back in. Yeah, that carpet just kind of wraps around behind there. Maybe I could do new carpet. This is kind of itchy. And now that that's my new armrest, I need something nicer. This seat, like the little lean back part, doesn't work. So we need to take it apart to fix all that. Somebody put these bolts in the wrong spot. I'm going to fill in the freaking things and put them right at the front of these tracks. Why would they not just be at the front of the tracks? It's getting looser. Ha! Can't believe that actually worked. It flopped around like a crazy person. All right, let's move all this stuff because I'm about to shove it all forward. This seat does not work like the other side. Oh, I got, haha. Just needed to break. That was wedged in there, keeping it from moving. Super light seats. So this side actually had a carpet piece on the bottom and that rubber mat, but I do have the rubber mat for the other side. That other side was missing the carpet piece underneath, and that's where that little rust is. I wonder if they took it out to look at. Oh, this side looks good. Oh yeah, that's solid. So I'll just pull all this out of here. I'm gonna probably vacuum it first just so there's less dust everywhere. Once I take the seat belts off, that whole centerpiece will come out. These sides are actually glued into place. They'll catch on fire if I don't. So I'll have to take those up to fix those little rust holes. This side looks fine. This side looks corroded. So I guess when the guy was driving, since the cup holders were useless, he just held his drink and just slowly spilled it on himself as he was driving, thus rotting out the left side, the driver's side. Let's see if we can lift this out of here. Oh, it's kind of stuck around this thing. It really doesn't seem like it's holding it though. It's just wedged underneath this one part. So if I loosen that, it should come up. Ha! That was it. All right, this is the other piece that's like seems to be screwed in, not glued in. It's got like these, it's like a little thing in the middle with two screws on either side. I'm just gonna take this off and see if it actually is what's holding the carpet. Yeah, what? That's so cute. I wonder if doing that soundproofing stuff would do anything to this car, or just be a waste of soundproofing. If you guys follow along with my other projects, you'll know I learned this lesson from a previous project. Do not ever let these retract in all the way. I'm gonna do that and keep that from going anywhere. All right, let's see if this will pull up. All right, I will have to pull up the weather stripping to get it back in, and probably that panel, whatever. I just need to go up to where the rust stops. It's really just right under where the seat was. All right, so I'm just gonna take it all the way to the edge of the trim, because that'll be the easiest part to get back on. That should pry up and push back down, right? All right. With this angle, yeah, you can see those rust spots. I don't know how much to cut out. I'm just gonna stab. I mean, it really just seems where it went through, right? I should just be able to like kind of come back here some. Maybe go up here. Maybe come down here a little bit. Like, should I try to do more, or should I just try to do as little as possible? Like, I'm not gonna be able to recreate that bump, so it's just gonna be flat, but I don't care. And then for this one, kind of keep this ridge up here, because I might could put in one divot, one ridge. Like, just cut that square out. Like, the straighter I create these pieces, the easier I can replicate them. Like, and for these little tiny holes, can I just build them up with my, like my wire feed? Feels pretty solid. So maybe for this one, I can like cut out right like that. I told you I'm gonna do a new screw because I hate that. Come back there, like maybe stay on the top of this ridge. And man, look, this one's tiny. Like maybe I can just like build it up and then grind it down. So there's 4 spots, 1, 2, 3, and then a little one up front on the other side. Oh no, there's 5 spots. Let me go get my grinder. Might as well make it worse before we get it better. I did all that grinding and cutting, and I forgot to have the camera turned on. I cut this chunk off. It was kind of hard because it's over the top of this subframe, and then I just kind of ground the layer of coating off of where I'm just gonna try to weld the blobs on there. So I'm gonna cut a little bit more. This is my protector to keep from throwing sparks up in front. There, that's what I did up there, except it took a lot more work. Do any of you guys know what that thick rubber stuff is I'm grinding off down there? It's kind of coating the whole bottom floor. Is that like old school soundproofing? You can see I got some blankets out. I'm gonna try to weld these little holes in. I was reading different ways to do it. I'm gonna try to just build it up with spots. If I'm having a hard time, I can put, sounds like I can put like a piece of copper behind it. I got some new welding gloves. These cover up my wrist a little bit. I got that because I burnt myself because the dot went inside of my other just little hand gloves. And you basically just doing a bunch of spot welds. This is a terrible angle. Foot's in the way. The board just fell. Okay, actually that filled in pretty good. See if I can fill in this back seat hole that I hate. I'm gonna try that with the piece of aluminum. They just say you stick a piece of metal back there. Like, I don't have, they said copper, but they said aluminum should work. Aluminum on top of that. And I'm gonna do that and see if that'll actually hold it against there. It doesn't freaking stay. Oh, you know what? Maybe the magnet will just grab it. So that's a piece of aluminum. Let's just see if this makes it a little easier. Holy crap, that works great. Let's see if it actually falls off. Oh, it came right off. I don't know if I can actually get to this one because it's underneath the subframe. I think I'm just gonna have to do that one the way I did the other one. I'm gonna grind on that and see if it looks any good. So there's no more hole. I'll call that good enough. Let's see if we can cut out a piece and get it right there. I cut this piece to get to, which should fit over this hole. So what I want to do is reach underneath and Sharpie around. Should I try to bend that? I wanted to keep it above the fold. To there. Like I just put it in my vise and just hammered that. That's actually pretty good. So let's do a little bit on the other side. That's what I made. I bent this side way more, but that's supposed to be. Oh, look, that fits right on there. What I'm gonna do is trace it from the bottom, cut it to fit that, and then we'll tack it into place. I guess I'm just gonna do that tomorrow though, because the moon is out. That means it's time for bed. I couldn't stand it. Moon's still out, but I got a big light. I trimmed that piece to fit around the edges. Burned a little hole. Let's make sure it's not on fire underneath there. Does not appear to be. Let's make sure the underneath isn't on fire. It's smoking a lot. It's not anymore. When I come back, I'm going to grind down my blobs and then check to see where I need to fill in holes. All right, guys, I got this patched up. There's the big one. It's in there. I ground it down. There was that little rust spot up there. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna spray a rust reformer over everything that's bare metal and even down there a little bit where it wasn't poking through, but it looks a little rusty. There are other patches I see. Now that I've done a patch, I recognize that's a patch I didn't do, patch. So somebody's done this before. So my patches match their patches. This side doesn't really need it, but might as well. Anyway, it looked a little rusty. I'm gonna let that dry and then we'll do the seam sealer and then we'll start putting all the carpet, we'll clean up the carpet and put it back in. While it dries, I'm gonna use some of this stuff, which if you read the directions, it sounds like it'll kill you if you do it wrong, but whatever. I'm gonna just reattach this carpet along here. So you just paint this stuff on, you let it sit for like 20 minutes, and then you should put it in place, and if you get it wrong, that's just how your life is now, is what it sounds like. I guess that's dry enough for that. You're supposed to do both sides, I guess. Just gonna paint it on, let it dry, and then hopefully it stays. Did you see how high it's supposed to go up? Maybe I can do this in such a way it glues to itself. That'd be nice. I'm trying not to overdo it in case I decide I hate this, then I can always rip it up and change it. It's been 20 minutes. Let's see if this is gonna stick. Yes. Make sure I can get it underneath here. Stuff definitely sticks. There we go. Ta-da! All right, looks good. The only thing I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna take up that, because look, this is next. See how loose that is? And look, this is broken. Somebody welded that. I looked it up. They don't supposed to look like that. But apparently when they're loose like this, there's usually just a bushing underneath there. So let me get that up and see if the bushing online is the one I'm seeing. This could come up. Ah! Did you see that? I'm pretty sure I heard it hit the ground. I caught that one, yay! All right, I'm gonna see if the bolt is underneath it on the ground. Ta-da! All right, how do you get this up? Looks like this is a little plate. Oh! Oh God, it's greasy. All right, so, oh yeah, look, and somebody said if you push it too hard, it pushes through the bearing. I think the bearing is actually supposed to stop inside of that. Like that little ball is supposed to stop inside this bushing like that. You're not supposed to push it through the bushing. So actually doing that might fix it, but I'm gonna look in line to see if I can find a new one of these. They were only like $6 if I could find the right thing. That's all I'm doing on this. I'm taking it apart. Next visit, like when you guys come back, we're gonna start reassembling. We're gonna do new rib nuts for the seats, so that way they come in and out a lot easier, because I assume you're gonna have to near constantly repair this thing. The turn signal and the horn doesn't work, and we're gonna get all the dash back together and clean it up real good. That door handle doesn't work from the inside. Just gonna clean it up a little bit more, just kind of keep picking with this thing for a while. Join us next time.